Okay, that should be better. No, it's fine. Okay, so let us, yep. Let us sort again. Let us start with our finger size. We want to go, like I said, it was a British finger-sized J. And for the sake of this exercise, we want our shaded viewport. For gems, we wanted an oval-shaped gem. We wanted, let's just go 1 carat 8x6. It wouldn't be too much of a hassle. And once again, Wisney, I said, I am here for you as much as you are here for me. So if you have any questions, please ask. So let's go with a stock standard 4-prong configuration. But let's do something a bit different. We're not going to use the standard head boulder. While it is nice for convenience, it also severely limiting. So we're going to do our curve tool. Okay, we want here, and go with the all diagonals of this ring. So snap it over here and snap it to the top of the shank. So let's turn on our control points and shift it right out. This, by the way, I must say, is one of the most popular ring styles available. Mainly because it looks super modern and super minimalistic, and also mainly because it's super easy to make. So we're going to go initiate our solid and our pipe tool. The options we want our round pipe. So now let me think. You know what? Let's go 0,9. Enter, and let's taper it a bit. Let's go 1.1. Enter. And no, we don't want. This is miles too thick. We want radius. Sorry, we want diameter and not radius. So let's try that again. Yes. Go ahead, Wisney. I'm listening. Go diameter. Nine. 1. No. Just, I like to say an anecdote. The 3 easiest ways to enter the jewelry industry. 1, become friends with a family of jewelers. 2, marry into a family of jewelers. Or 3, be born into a family of jewelers. I mean, technically you could go to college, but let's just say my boss and my company, we're not really on speaking terms with the colleges right now. Mainly because they are so full of red tape, and also mainly because the material that they teach is about 30 years out of date. and on average, the average student will maybe get 20 to 40 hours experience on CAD, on 3D modeling, whereas average you need about 100 hours. Okay, we also mirror over here. F4 snaps to, no man. Yes, it is complicated. So now we've made a basic claw setting. We can move on to our shank. We go press F6 for our quick commands and add our profile. Go down, 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 because we want this series of ring profiles. We go, oh golly gosh, I lost my place. Oh, here we go. Here. And we will want it, let's say, about 2.5. 2.5, and the thickness about 1.5. Now, this is where the fun begins. Okay, let's rather see. Do we here? Now, make sure our one rail sweep, and voila, there we go. But let's say we want to pick something a little different. We can go here, and we can go full round if we want. No. Sorry, go F6. Go MSR, moves. MSR short for move, scale, rotate. And let's go our full round. Enter. And we go enter again. And there we are. Can have all sorts of awesome shapes. Like this. But no, let's not get sidetracked. Let's stick with what we're originally going to do. And no. 6 or there we go. Now, for this, we need a bit of support. So let's once again move to our quick tools and add a bit of a rail to this. Let's go over here, over here. Just right so it's over here. And there we go. For now, I am only the designer, but I'm also a qualified goldsmith. I am also qualified in making these rings, but it has been a good long while since I've touched it, since I have touched my tools. Now, by the look of it, this looks to be a bit out of proportion. These prongs look to be a bit small, so let's make them thicker. Let's say 1.1. Yes, that looks good. No, by 1.3. Or 1. Yes, 1.3. Enter, enter, enter. And I think we can raise this a tiny bit. Six. Lower the gallery rail for supports. Frame 6. And we raise this again. But yes, this is a program. Matrix is a program that I am borrowing from work, mainly because the retail version is insanely expensive. Copies of this program go for around almost 5,000 US dollars. So yeah, a bit on the pricey side. Raise it over here. Here. And yes, once again, we want to but this is there is a stripped down version of this called Rhino. But it is also quite a bit cheaper, but still expensive. The retail price on the storefront goes for about, I think, 900 euros. So yeah, a lot more affordable, but still expensive. And bezel. Yes, that should do nicely. Okay, and now we want to create our file. For now, let's just say test 1, 1, 1, 1. Create, because we're going to try out new variations of this ring. So now let's first select all this and store it over here. Now, edit, and we're going to change profile to, yes, something like this. Going to go here. Now, going to fix and create a guiding curve for something interesting. Go gem profile, and we want to, I think, lower it over here. Yes. Now, F6. No, not that. Gems. And gem on curve. Now the culette direction. we want over here. We want object over here, and we want to make it smaller, let's say about 1 millimeter. Want to reduce spacing to this. Over here. Now what we want to do is go into our top view. Okay, for the next live stream, I think you should, to improve your audio, you should use DSO calls, because your S sounds quite strong. Yes, I'm not really much of a sound engineer. Well, okay, actually, yes, it can create a creative mind, but I always say it's exactly 10% creative, 10% technical, exactly down the middle. Yes, the Wisney, please do. Because if you have too much if you have too much creative, what you do is you end up designing a piece that looks amazing but is impossible to make. Conversely, if you are completely technical, you will design something that is 100% practical but actually looks ugly. And I have seen both sides of the spectrum. So let's let us create a duplicate. Control C, Control V, F6, edit gem on curve. But no, the most important aspects of jewelry design are perseverance and experience. You can have all the luck and talent in the world, but if you do not have perseverance, you're just going to be a flash in the pan. Just and enter. Now this is also very trendy right now. Sticking tiny stones on every available surface. So we go F6 and we put our prongs on. Go here. Go here. Now we go F6, and this is the cool part. We go to match attributes. Go here. Prongs create. And now all we need to do is mirror it on this side, mirror it on both sides. F4 to snap towards center. F4 to snap towards center. And there we are. This is our version 2. We're going to go A. And this is just the base version. What we want to do now is condition this for 3D rendering. And so we want to use what's called our cage edit tool. Cage edit. Let me just input a bunch of settings. No, not. Because this is going to mimic what these prongs will look like once they have left the stone setter's desk. Go here. We just want to warp these prongs, give them a bit of a realistic worn look. So let us move down to our looking down view. And move it over here. Oh dear, let's try that again. I missed one of the control points. Let's try that again. There we are. And also let's adjust this so these stones aren't so visible from the outside. And we'll move it in. And we will move it in over here. Now, I was telling you guys of a design that had like 50 stones, I think, but that is by far not the most complex design I've ever made. It was actually a desk ornament and it had 400 stones. So now I just want to... Yep. You might think this piece was massive, but it was actually tiny. It was like, I think 2 centimeters tall. Okay, now let's pull it and smooth our curves over here. How many hours of work? About 4. Though it is mostly, the 4 hours was mostly due to my computer lagging because it couldn't handle so many objects at the same time. So let's set all to the radius to 0.15. And there we are. We can Control A, delete. And now we can get to the fun part, which is the 3D rendering. So we want to turn on our renderer, and yes, add our ground plane. Now let's delete this, and basically we want to assign our materials. So we, oh, I beg your pardon. You know what? I think two-tone is quite trendy right now. So let's make it a realistic looking gold. So we can go here. This is the preview window. And we assign it over here. Right click to select all of these, and these are going to be our diamonds. These are all our materials. Now, where is diamond? Is over here. Okay, this is our diamond, but I really do not like this texture. So library, gemstone, diamond. So let's go with this one. So yes, much much better. I think we can save this as diamond main. Save. Apply our material. And for this main stone, I think we want to go with a rather fancy gemstone. You know what? Let's go with emerald. Here. Go here. Set our resolution to... Yes, you could tell the age of this program by how high the resolution goes. So, and wait, let's first Control A, select this scene, and yes, let us administer the render. Oh, so firstly we do not want to render the duplicate images, and render the active view, and there we are. Let me just capture this, and I think afterwards we can... No, oh dear, no, sorry. It's new that... And yes, Control A, no, over here, this window, Control A, and you know what, let's do a third version of this. With what we call a bezel setting. So let us delete this, let us F6, and a bezel. Because yes, down here, and usually the setting is going to be countersunk like this, but for the sake of our rendered presentation, we want to make it a bit lower. So let's also change it to something that will reflect better in our rendering. So if we move up, we move this down quite a lot. Make this a bit thinner. Yeah, more. And we will want to fillet these sharp corners. Over here, over here, enter again. And well, yes, I suppose this does look nice, but at the same time, it doesn't. So let us remove this with a Boolean tool. So we'll create a block like this and block like this, and we'll move it over here. Then here, select these four over here, and enter, and it cut off like so. So once again, let us enable our ground plane and administer the render. I think let's tell me, what is Azaratzir and the Wisney, what is your birthstone? Do you know? My birthstone, being in February, is an amethyst. Sorry, apologies. I just want to... Oh, the topaz. Well, the thing is that there is lots and lots and lots of varieties of topaz. I can show you there is... yes, about 28. On this program alone, there's 28 different varieties of topaz. You know what? Let's go with the highest grade, which is the Swiss blue. Do we have a Swiss blue? Ah, here we are. Now this is a stunning color. So let's render. Oh dear, it's clipping off. That's... and now it is frozen. No, it's okay. There's not many guys that there is not many guys that wear engagement rings. No, these are strictly engagement rings for a goldsmith and a jewelry designer and anyone in the jewelry industry. The bridal market is your bread and butter. Alright, it was minimized. And oh yes, I need to apply a material. Let's go platinum, and let's give it a bluish tint over here. And there we go. Yes, you and me both. Right, let's just save. And let us take another screen grab of this. And yes, this was ring number 3. But let's say hypothetically you are interested in the jewelry industry. You have a passing curiosity in the jewelry industry, but you do not wish to be a designer. There are various different occupations with varying amounts of pay. For example, you could go into jewelry sales, or you can be a gemologist and source and grade the various gems. Or you can become a rock star and become a stone setter. At lower levels, the stone setters, they earn a livable wage, and on the higher end, you can basically name your price. You can become a freelancer and you can basically name your price if you become a freelance stone setter. But I myself have tried setting stones, and I can tell you, setting them neatly is incredibly hard. Oh no, I work for a specific company. I've been at this very specific company for, gosh, how long have I been? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I don't remember. I've been employed at this company for many years. Many. So let's Control A, and for now, so my voice is, the air is actually getting very dry and my voice is starting to strain a bit. So let us go on to some earrings. Yes, I will. You know what? Let's take a break and let's take a 10-minute break on this one. And we are back. Hello, Blood Warrior, and welcome to the stream. I hope you have a beverage. Hope you're relaxed. And I hope you are doing well. We designed, I think, 3 engagement rings. And now we're moving on to our first set of earrings. So, now, you know what? Confound these notifications. Let's do something out of the ordinary. Let's make them pear shape. In this case, pear shape is not a bad thing, it's really good. So we want to hide our ground plane, and we want to turn them like so. You know what, let's actually, this is much too big, I think. Yes, perfect size. And no, let's do something fancy with this. Now, F6, go bezel. It retains the memory of the last job you used, and so yes, let's shrink it down over here. And yes, this should do nicely. Move this up, because we'll need some space over here. 6. We go match attributes. Bezel create. Go edit bezel, and we're going to drop this down so these are level. And yes, nice and easy. This nice and easy for our first set of earrings. But now we need our pin. So wireframe, need it directly. Here, and I think our pin needs to be you know what, let's try that all over again, and we want the pin to be exactly 10 millimeters. So we input in our, if I've got our command line up top there, so 10, enter, snap, and and 0.8 millimeters. Now see this, the culette is sticking at the bottom, so let's make this a bit thicker. Go down here. And go to make a duplicate, hold Alt, click, drag so here. Now let's wait, rather click and drag up here, and now, as with the previous case, we want to make this render ready, so let us blunt in all these sharp corners. Click and drag over here. Enter and enter again. Now, we want to create the little notches that you usually see on these pins. So we are going to go use duplicate edge. Just by the way, any command that you see over here can simply just be typed in over here into this command line. I usually prefer to type it in because it's quicker. And in the jewelry industry, time is money. So we go over here and over, and now let's change these to a different layer so they're more visible. Let's say light green. Type again, and this time we want 0.1. Now let's go 0.2, and again here, and over here we use the pipe command. No, I use a stock standard mouse. Oh no. Point two. And let's go Boolean difference again. Go over here from our history. And we select these surfaces to Boolean width, and we press enter. And there we go. So, Bloodblade, your turn. What sort of stones do you think we would like to use on these earrings? So far, we have had emerald, and we have had blue topaz. We were tempted to go with My birthstone, we were tempted to go with amethyst, but yeah, I really don't want to. Right, let's turn on our ground plane again. Go down here. And you know what, let's wait, control A, let's try to make this a bit more fancy like. So no, I want to lock this particular layer and go here. Now let's go group over here, and let's you know, it depends. How much of a headache do we want to give our gemologist over here? So, because I can be all kinds of difficult when it comes to selecting. Okay, yes, we will go with a massive one. Let's go with a massive one. So, what sort of variety of gemstone would we like to use? You know what? Let's go with two of the most exotic ones. I forgot to close. Okay, let's remove. No, remove from group. Let's assign these bottom ones to a different layer. Go over here. So let's, you know what? Because I don't want to do two conflicting colors. We can go with I beg your pardon. We can go with a variety of sapphire, but I'm looking at exotic diamonds. So a D, and no, we are not going to go with their variety of black diamond. Let's try pink. It seems like we don't have a red diamond in this one. Or do we? Let's look into our library. Gemstones. I mean, in theory we could, but you know what? No. Let us make a way. This uses rather antiquated HSV values. So okay, no, I'm going to get in trouble if I do not do it accurately. So let's rather stick with system defaults. You know, let's go a reddish stone like garnet or ruby. Yes, let's make these Mozambique garnet. And okay. For our heads, once again, let's stick with the tried and trusted, which is white gold, and we will render. And let's open our render window. And okay, it would look better if it was inverted, I think. In other words, garnet at the bottom, diamond on top. So let's do exactly that. No man. And our diamond, we wanted I'd say a richer pink. And yes, I am aware that we wanted the main piece to be more in center, more in line with the main picture. So, oh dear. Let's attempt that again. Yes, that, okay. Getting there, not 100%, but it looks presentable. It looks good, looks presentable. And for the time being, I am satisfied. What do you guys think? Yay or nay? I'm sorry, Blood Warrior, I don't quite understand your question. That is the money important part. Ah, yes. Yes, and these days, diamond is popular, but it's not. I mean, it is still popular, but colored stones and gemstones are becoming also quite popular. Probably not. This is just things that I am designing in my spare time. I must admit, in that part, I came here woefully unprepared, and yeah. Okay, let's save here, and to top it off, I think let's finish this with a pendant. Go delete this, delete this. Yes, but well, I think I understand your question, and these are probably not. They can be manufactured, but they probably won't. Though if you are no, let's rather not dig myself into a hole and make promises I can't keep. But if you do wish to make this purchase, I can get in contact with my team behind the scenes to arrange it for you. But I'd rather not. I mean, but I could, but I'd rather not. I do, however, also plan on doing themed jewelry, but that is going to require a lot more planning and a lot more work. I have plans for the Witcher themed jewelry, plans for adventure themed jewelry, for space exploration themed jewelry. And okay, solid. We can easily transform this into a pendant. We just need to increase the size and Control Z and okay. Put a jump ring on and then put a bail with which we're going to thread a chain. And yes, we are going to make and render the chain. So let's just, no, let's not put the cart before the horse. Let us first make the loop, make the jump ring with which it's going to get threaded through. Over here. Pipe. Once again, let's go 6.5. Let's see, is it going to be too small, too big? Yes, because jewelry designers are generally very stingy. You go onto Fiverr and you see how many jewelry designers are offering their services. There's something like 20 pages. And that is also why I decided to stream myself designing jewelry, because I felt that I have a captive market. So now we want to create the profile of the bail. We can use one of our pre-built ones, but I do not like them because they look, for lack of a better word, unsightly. Let's go 2 points. Let's snap to our quadrant. Go over here. And besides, not many of them are willing to face the harsh truth that trades in general are experiencing a worldwide brain drain. And this includes the jewelry industry. In fact, especially the jewelry industry. not just in my home country of South Africa, but I would say globally, worldwide. Now let's first change this layer to something more presentable. F10, we move here, we shift it up so it's a nice bale-shaped appendage, and F6. You remember that how we made our rings? Well, we do the exact same thing with our bales, with just about anything. So let's perspective. Let's turn our ground plane off and rotate this. No, watches, although they are part of the jewelry industry, they are a completely separate trade. It's a completely different kettle of fish. I actually used to dream of becoming of a watchmaker when I was younger. That's how I initially got into the jewelry industry. But like everything, you need money and lots of it. It is also unfortunate that there isn't a watchmaking school in my country, so I have got to go all the way to Switzerland. Now let's see, is this perpendicular? And here, so let's once again do our one rail sweep. Go over here and over here. And yes, that is not fresh. This particular one is not perpendicular, so we need to fix that. We need to correct that. No, there was actually a local school here in my country. Well, the little I've seen of watchmakers, they do have tools, even for people like you with big hands. And as for how you would become a jewelry designer, there are actually a lot of solid courses. Okay, sorry, jewelry school, not watchmaker school. Yes. Okay, let's try that again, but with a closed sweep. And closed sweep, and I think we can try and make this a bit narrower. I think we can also fix MSR. Let's change our profile to something. You know what, some days you just got to throw your hands up in the air and say, fuck it. So let's press enter, and ooh la la, this, we can make it, yes, it's actually, if you ask any CAD designer, most of them will say that they are self-taught. Simply because the education for these things is just so woefully inadequate. So I don't remember if I was saying, but there are a lot of very good courses on Udemy. Do not go to Skillshare. They are trash. Go to Udemy. And yes, I think this looks fresh. Now to weave in the chain. Let's do our circle again. No, let's go 2 point. Go over here and make a nice chain shape. Let's 10. Let's make a bisecting curve here. Now we can split, no, split and splitting objects. Delete this, and rebuild. Yes, 5 curves, 5 command points should be sufficient. 10. Yes, it's also basically because the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. Like I said, and I am unashamedly, I will unashamedly, do not clip that. I swear, do not clip that. Unashamedly, I am going to bash the institutions because, as I was saying earlier, the material they teach, it is good, but it is woefully outdated, like about 30 years outdated. And you will get this, and the problem is the people that come out of these institutions, they're unskilled and they're arrogant. They have dreams of making a ring that will appear on the billboards in New York. It's like, okay, fine, buddy. Here's 6 rings. 3 of them need to be resized. For 2 of them, they have round stones. We need you to change them to an emerald cut stone. Now get on it. And that is my life day in, day out. I actually didn't touch a billboard piece until I think well into my 2nd or 3rd year of employment. And even then, my supervisor had me on a very, very, very tight leash. Even today, all these years later, I can do it, but there are a lot of heavy constraints. The piece you design, it has to fit in with the theme of the season. And yes, also one thing is that there's a lot of companies, they do not want to risk their valuable resources teaching this head in the clouds kid who is going to cost them a lot of money. And eventually this kid is going to get it in his head that he's learned enough from this company and he's going to leave and he's going to want to do it on his own and he's going to fall flat. I have seen it happen more times than what I could count. Because sure, you can design the most amazing pieces, but these big jewelry companies, they are your competition. Many of them have been, the ones in my country have been around for over 50 years. The ones in the States, in Italy, many of them have been around for over 400 years. And that is 400 years of institutional knowledge that you are competing with. So it's also the thing with the apprenticeship problem. Once the apprentice is done, they will get it in their head that they know everything, and they will bugger off elsewhere. So let's try object on curve. Please don't crash, please don't crash, please don't crash. Yes. Now we want a, let's see, what sort of a chain do we want? Yep, do. You know what? Let's be something fat. Let's be all fancy like and do something like this. Okay, no. Were they? But yes, it's a lot of the jewelry capitals of the world. Yes, it's Italy, but it's actually New York has also many of the most famous jewelry houses. Harry Winston. No, Cartier isn't based in New York. Tiffany and Co. Gabriel and Co. Let me think. Yes, a lot of them are. Yes, a lot of the famous jewelry houses are based out of New York. Don't ask, don't tell. Frankly, I believe they're in league with each other. And because I think there's going to be a bit of fall off, let's enlarge the ground plane by quite a significant margin. I mean, okay, and once again, let's make this two-tone because I am in love with two-tone, but let's make the bail and the chain in rose gold. Rose gold. Now, once again, I do not like this default color, so we are going to go with a more natural color, which is this. Apply material to object. And yes, I've also have dreams to on stream design jewelry that's inspired by a lot of my favorite streamers. What are your guys' thoughts? I am a bit apprehensive because the art of jewelry design can be very intimate, and I feel maybe designing it on stream might break that intimacy. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Let's raise this a bit. And sorry, the Wisney, I don't understand your question. That would be a good idea, but it's complicated. There would be various complications. I think maybe I should take a risk and contact a few of the ones that I'm already personally acquainted with. Too many to name. For now, it's too many to name. I would start with one of our favorite, one of, I don't know if you dipped your toes into the Anime Fanatica, sorry, no, I beg your pardon, not Anime Fanatica. The Anime Fanatica Bento newsletter. There was a featured streamer there by the name of Red Autumn Owl. And I am tempted, but yeah. The thing about a lot of these VTubers, you have to walk a lot of these small to medium content creators and VTubers, you've got to walk on eggshells around them. So I would have to think about my approach. And I don't like it. It was a good idea and it looked good in my head, but I don't like it. The red and the red over here and the red over here, it conflicts. I don't like it. Maybe if I were to, and all right, okay, yes, that does make sense. Thank you, Bloodblade. Oh, sorry, I'm Blood Warrior. I beg your pardon. So let's try that again. And oh dear. Yes, reaching out in a polite way is good, but you're also just as likely to get ghosted. I can, because I have tried with a small medium streamer. I did try to get in contact with him, and I was also promptly ghosted. So it's like, fine, suit yourself, have a nice life. Okay, no, the chain I feel must be a bit thicker. The scale is throwing my eye right off. So, oh yes, because the thing is, I've got a bit of a fetish when it comes to two-tone. But yes, so. That I've had to sort of discipline myself to limit the amount of time I spend on renders, because you can play around with all of these settings and lose yourself in a time warp, and before you know it, half the day is done. Okay, I'd say that it looks fine, but the chain looks a bit flushed. Let me change to a where is it? Ah, this preset. Let's yes, I would have to do a tiny bit of research to find or study up more on color theory to look at the various complementing and contrasting colors. Because believe it or not, I did not study color theory. That was not one of the subjects I was taught at college. Because yeah, let me tell you, the secret to an efficient workflow is to keep your instrument panel simple. This includes your keyboard, this includes your mouse. Having too many buttons is just going to complicate the process. Okay, and also let's change. Right, let's change our ground plane material to white matte, and let's try that again. Yes, that looks much better. That looks much better. Because the curriculum is a bit dated. For example, even today, with all the modern technologies, the universities are still teaching their students to design jewelry by hand with pen and pencil. And there's a very good reason why we moved away from that, is because a lot of customers, they simply cannot see in 3D. So you can design a perfect orthographic projection, front, top, sides, deliver it to the client, and the client said, well, when they see the final ring, well, this is not what I ordered. Well, technically it is, but they couldn't see it. And it takes like how many hours to make a full pencil sketch, a full colored and pencil sketch. This you saw just in these past 2 hours. I designed 4 rings, one set of earrings, and 1 pendant. And in our jewelry industry, we appreciate the creative process, but time is money. So let's... Did I save? Cancel. Go new. And we go save here. Yes, I admit that having a good mouse would be fun. I mean, my mouse isn't cheap. I have a mid-range Genius mouse, but like half the buttons I don't even use. I use right button, I use left button, and I use middle button. Oh yes, 3D printer is an indispensable piece of hardware for the modern jeweler. Although rather instead of a filament printer, we would use a resin printer. Resin printers, even though they are a bit temperamental, the results they produce for fine detail are second to none. And what's nice is that you can take that 3D print and you can send it to your metal casting agent, and they can make a mold. And yes, and just yes, that would actually be one of the things on my list is a resin printer. It just I live in a very small house. I am sharing a living space with about 4 other people, and these resin printers stink. They stink and they are messy, and let's just say I wouldn't put it past some of my housemates to start putting excessive amounts of salt in my coffee. So yes, let's Control A and yeah. And to everyone who's watching, I I think we can wrap things up. So yes, let me go over here and let me shut down our. I suddenly realized that I have been completely invisible for this entire time. So yes. Now, let's say to wrap things off, we go on a bit of a raid. Raid. Raid browser. Let's see. Do we have? Oh, hey. Let's see. Let's see if we can't introduce ourselves to someone new. Are you ready? Please stay online. Wait, let's see. Yes, let us go. First. Okay, wait. Okay. Okay, sorry, I'm just going to type out a message. Okay, wait, it's Control A. Apologies, this is my first trade and I am super giddy. Now where are our emotes? Apologies, let me. You guys are still here, right? A. I'm putting in the Twitch message now. B. A. So so copy this into your taskbar and let's get raiding. So let us start a raid. Thank you all for watching the stream, and I will see you on the flip side. This has been Akira the Jeweler signing out. The local time right now is 10 minutes past 9 in the evening. And have a good one.